All right, my love, today is the day to put everything that you have learned into practice for a quiz. We have been working on conversions for 2 full weeks. We started with the what? Customary system. And then this week we moved on to something a little bit easier, and that was the metric system. Well, today you're going to take a quiz and it has all of them on it. So before we get started, I want to do some practice with you so that you are ready for your quiz. We're going to do again 4 practice problems, and then I'm going to show you your quiz, go over it with you, and set you off on your own. And I really believe that you can do this. Okay, I'm also going to post this star chart right down below. I would suggest you print it off. We're going to be using it again next week, so I suggest you print it off and have it. If you can't print, take a screenshot of it so you have it in your pictures. Okay, guys, let's get started. Okay, we are going to do 4 practice problems together, and everybody is going to follow along. So please get out a piece of paper. Okay, let's divide our section into 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now that we're divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to go ahead and write our very first problem. So you're going to have to think back to customary. So 2 gallons is how many quarts? So 2 gallons is how many quarts? The first thing that we do is we go on our star chart and we find the conversion that matches. So I'm looking for gallons to quarts. So what am I looking for? Gallons to quarts. So 1 gallon is 4 quarts. Okay. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. All right. Now that I have this, I can make my input-output table. So you should know what to do from here. So I'm going to write input-output table, and I want you to solve it. Okay, so I hope that you pause the video and you solve this. If not, I guess we're going to do it together. So I always start off with my conversion as the first number in my input-output table. So I would start off with 1 gallon is 4 quarts. Always start off with that conversion from your star chart. Then I plug in the problem. 2 gallons equals blank quarts. All right, so when I take a look at this, I have got to figure out my input, which is 1, times what will give me my output, which is 4. So 1 gallon times what will give me 4 quarts. Well, 1 times anything is itself, so it's 4. So my rule is to multiply by 4. So if I multiply 2 times 4, I should get my answer, and my answer would be 8. Is that what you guys got? I hope so. Okay, I'm going to switch over to metric system. So let's do 5 kilometers equals how many meters? So let's take a look at the metric system. I'm going to find whatever matches that, and I notice kilometers to meters. So 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. Okay, so let's practice. 1 kilometer, I write my conversion, equals 1,000 meters. So now I'm going to take that and put it in an input-output table. And from here, you should know what to do. So I want you to pause the video, and I want you to solve this. Now, when you're done, I'm going to go over it with you and make sure you got the right answer. All right, so you should have unpaused the video. Your conversion that you get from the star chart should be your first value in your input-output table. And then you go in and plug in your values from your question. So 5 kilometers equals how many meters? So now I think my input times what will give me my output. So 1 kilometer times what will give me 1,000 meters. And you knew 1 times anything, or 1 times itself is 1 times anything is itself. So 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. So now I take my input and I apply that same rule to it. So what's 5 times 1,000? 5,000, right? Okay, let's get a little bit trickier. What if I did 18 cups equals how many pints? Okay, so I'm going to look on here, and I did capacity again just because I like it. And I don't see a cups to pints, but I do see a pints to cups. So I think I can use that. 1 pint equals 2 cups. So I'm going to draw, I'm going to draw my input-output table, and I want you to solve it. So draw your input-output table and solve this problem. Okay, so you should have noticed, I hope that you paused and now you're ready. I hope that you noticed that your pints needs to be switched around. So I would put 2 cups over here and 1 pint over here. It doesn't matter as long as you put the same, like cups need to go in the same column, 18 cups, and your blank needs to go in the same column for what you're finding. So now you've got to look at it a little bit backwards. 1 times what will give you 2? I hope you said 2. 1 times 2. So what times 2 will give you 18? I hope you said 9. So did you get 9 pints? All right. So we're going to do one more, and it is going to be 6,000 milligrams equals how many grams? So I'm going to look on here, and I notice there's no milligrams to grams, but there is grams and milligrams right here. It doesn't matter the order. So 1 gram equals 1,000 milligrams. Okay, so I want you to pause the video and solve this problem. Okay, so you should have unpaused by now. Okay, so I noticed that the milligrams are the first thing. So I'm going to need to switch this around. So you should have put 1,000 milligrams here and 1 gram here. And now you can easily plug in 6,000 milligrams and blank. Okay, so since this side is smaller, I'm going to do it backwards. 1 times what will give me 1,000? 1,000, right? So my rule is times 1,000. So what times 1,000 will give me 6,000? Remember, they have the same amount of zeros, So 6 times 1 will give me 6,000, right? I hope that that's the answer you got. Okay, so that was some pretty simple conversions that we were doing right there, some practice. Today, your test looks like this. There are 12 questions. At the top, it's going to ask you what you think the appropriate, it says customary measurement, but it's actually customary and metric measurement is. So it's going to ask you both in customary and in metric. So pay attention to that. What do you think? If I were you and you don't remember what's the biggest, what's the smallest, look on here. The biggest is normally that first number and like miles. The smallest is normally the last one, inches. Kilometers the biggest, millimeter. So we would go kilometer, meter, centimeter, millimeter. Mile, yard, feet, inches. Gallon, quarts, pints, cups, ounces, tons, pounds, ounces, kilogram, gram, milligram, liter, milliliter. It goes from biggest to smallest on your star chart. So if you forget, take a look at this and it'll show you from biggest to smallest. Okay, so you're going to tell me which one you think, like the height of a one-story house or the mass of a car. Then down here, there are 6 input-output tables that you are going to have to solve. All right, since this is a quiz, I cannot help you on it. So do your very best. This is, again, customary and metric. So just pay attention to that. All right, my loves, I love y'all so much. I hope you have fun, and I know you're going to do great because we've been doing this for 2 whole weeks. All right, bye.